The flat earth cult takes a hyper-literal interpretation of the scriptures to prove their many fallacies about the Bible. One of their biggest fallacies they teach about the Bible is their false claim that God created the sky to be a solid dome over our heads. To debunk their scriptural error about the dome, we will use their same hyper-literal method of interpreting scripture to point out their scriptural flaws. In other words, we're going to do an apple-to-apple scriptural interpretation to prove the foolishness of the flat earth cult's understanding of the Bible. The flat earth cult claims God created a solid dome over our heads during the creation week. However, if that was true, then why would God say a solid dome would be a curse? In Deuteronomy 28:23, God said he will curse disobedience by making the heavens overhead like bronze or brass. But according to the flat earth cult, God already created the heavens over our heads to be like a solid metal even before he created man. In fact, the flat earth cult will even use a hyper-literal interpretation of scriptures like Job 37:18 and claim the sky is solid like a molten metal mirror. Yet, how can that be true if a solid metal sky would be a curse? How could a solid sky be a curse that would happen as a consequence of disobedience if we already have a sky that is a solid metal over our heads? Wouldn't that be the same as God saying, I'm going to curse you by making your rain wet, or that I'm going to curse a leper with leprosy? How is the curse to be perceived as a punishment for sin if the curse already occurs? So a solid sky would have to be something unusual and not a common occurrence. Since this curse of a solid sky would be an unusual thing, then that means it's not normal to have a solid sky over our heads. Therefore, the curse found in Deuteronomy 28 debunks the whole idea that God created a solid dome over our heads. This is more proof that the teachings and interpretation of Scripture by the flat earth cult are flawed. This should be a warning to all to stay away from this end-time heresy that is part of the predicted end-time delusion. In 2 Timothy chapter 4, verses 3 through 4, it says, "For the time will come when they will not listen to sound doctrine, but having itching ears will heap up for themselves teachers after their own lusts, and will turn away their ears from the truth and turn aside to fables." This is exactly what the flat earth cult promotes, turning people away from the truth and promoting fables.